Hi, I'm Dr. Felicia, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how you can get the most from therapy. Therapy is a big investment, and I'm sure a lot of times you might wonder, how am I going to get the most for my money doing this, and what am I going to do so that when I go to therapy, I'm getting the maximum results? So today I'm going to be covering a few ways that you can do that. The first thing that you can do is when you're in session with your therapist, make sure that you're taking notes. You don't have to furiously scribble all the time when they're talking, but you want to have an active record of what's going on while your therapist is talking to you. And so I would recommend having good old fashioned pen and paper and just scribble a few notes while the therapist is talking, things that stood out to you, action points, things like that. And then what I want you to do after that is think about one thing that you're going to implement that week or during the time period between the time you finish therapy and the time you see your therapist next. So again, take notes and think of one action point that you're going to implement. Now, of course, that action point might come from your homework that your therapist is giving you. Hopefully, your therapist is giving you homework. But even with that homework, focus on one thing you want to do. Okay. The second thing that you want to do also when you're in therapy to help you get the most of therapy is that prep for your next session with your therapist. So let's say you have an appointment with a therapist on a Friday. Thursday night, you want to start thinking about what you're going to be talking about with your therapist. Maybe it was a struggle with your homework, having difficulty getting something done, maybe something that stood out to you, or a victory or something like that. But think about either a statement that you want to convey to your therapist or a question that sums up the week and what you've been doing. So the first point, take notes during the session. And the second one is think about a question or some kind of statement that you want to make to your therapist that gives them a snapshot of what your week has been like. It's really important because most of the transformation that happens in therapy is between sessions. It's kind of like with lessons. If you take a musical instrument, you're going to get the most out of it from practicing it. So you want to capture highlights of what's happened between sessions to convey to your therapist, and also think of any questions. So the reason why you want to prepare for this is because when you're in session, sometimes the time goes really quickly. You might be really deep into thought about something and you might not remember to bring up what had happened, maybe during the prior week. So first point, take notes. Second point, prepare for the next session. And then the third one is have some kind of accountability. Think about a trusted friend or a spouse, somebody who's rooting for you to do really well in therapy, and let them know what you're doing. And, for instance, if you are having some concerns with, let's say, skin picking or something, and you want someone to know that, hey, I'm going to therapy for this. And so just so you know, this is what's going on. I'm really working this week on decreasing situations where I'm tempted to pick my skin. Then what your accountability partner, whoever it is, knows and is aware, and they can come alongside with you to help you along your journey to recovery. And so, of course, you want to show, you want to be mindful of who you bring in, make sure it's someone who's supportive, someone that will value your confidentiality, but bringing in another party keeps you accountable to your goals. If you're saying that you want to accomplish X, Y, Z and someone knows, then they can be an additional source of support as well as challenge for you. So the 3 points that I've talked about: number one, take notes in session, and think of an action point, one action point that you're going to focus on. The second one is prepare for the session beforehand, preferably the day before, but start thinking about what you want to ask your therapist about or let them know about, giving them a snapshot of what your week has been or time period has been. And the third one is have some accountability. Bring somebody in with you that can support you and encourage you. And that way you are also held accountable to the changes that you came into therapy wanting to accomplish. If this helps you, please click the thumbs up button and subscribe, and also drop some comments down below about other topics that you would like to hear about, and have a wonderful and peaceful day. Bye-bye.